Did you know the SEC published guidance on when an ICO, that is, initial coin offering, would run afoul of being considered a security? Welcome to Unusual Due Diligence. I am your host, Poseidon, the mighty and ancient god of the sea, and whose spirit animates me, the talking milkshake. Let's pull up the news. In light of recent news impacting multiple cryptocurrency and blockchain projects where the SEC has filed suit to argue that certain projects are defined one way versus another way, in this episode we are going to step back a little further and ask this question, quote, has the SEC ever published anything about what is defined as a security, end quote. If you caught my recent video discussing dictionary attacks from the SEC, then you know I'm here today to discuss the Howey Test, but also in a very specific way. Timecodes in the description below. Did you know the SEC published guidance on when an ICO, that is initial coin offering, would run afoul of being considered security? I sure didn't, and decided to make an episode for two big reasons. First, I hold a number of the tokens the SEC has filed suit against. For example, AMP token is a large and very big topic for the Unusual Due Diligence channel. The premise of empowering everyday people like you and me is quite intriguing with the AMP token project. The second reason is known to a much smaller group of people, but I'll tell you all about it. The Unusual Due Diligence channel has its own cryptocurrency token. It's a non-traded token, as my first puzzle was to solve the problem of, quote, so now the channel has a token, what can I use it for, end quote. And that question is really hard. However, in light of the recent SEC filings, I'm pretty thrilled it's taken me this long to figure it out because I'm learning a lot about things like life and also the Howey Test. The document, which I'll link below in the description, is far too thick to cover in just one episode. However, what I do want to know isn't the Howey Test, but the list of criteria the SEC says may invalidate their own claims for when a token or cryptocurrency project is a security. And that is pretty interesting. Quote, oh, so the SEC is saying this is how to defeat their own raid boss, end quote. In this episode, let's just take a detailed look at an example that the SEC provides for when their argument is that a cryptocurrency or token project is not a security. Here's what the passage says. Quote, for example, take the case of an online retailer with a fully developed operating business. The retailer creates a digital asset to be used by consumers to purchase products only on the retailer's network, offer the digital asset for sale in exchange for real currency, and the digital asset is redeemable for products commensurately priced in that real currency. The retailer continues to market its products to its existing customer base, advertises its digital asset payment method as part of those efforts, and may reward customers with digital assets based on product purchases. Upon receipt of the digital asset, consumers immediately are able to purchase products on the network using the digital asset. The digital assets are not transferable, rather consumers can only use them to purchase products from the retailer or sell them back to the retailer at a discount to the original price. Under these facts, the digital asset would not be an investment contract, end quote. Lots of words, so let's begin with this. Quote, fully developed operating business, end quote. What does this phrase, fully developed operating business, even really mean? As a sole proprietorship running a lemonade stand, is that a fully developed operating business? This is such a vague statement to me that it has no real consequence, and yet it does. It can be literally any type of commerce within a legal framework, and in my own mind, this point is at risk of a death spiral by argument in a legal context. After all, there are legitimate money-losing businesses, and there are other single-member businesses. When does a business reach this magical place of, quote, fully developed, end quote? In the modern technology landscape, software as a service is never fully developed, so, even Bitcoin still has active developers at work. Second, this next section intrigues me. I call it the gift card mentality. Consider these points. First, create a digital asset to be used by consumers to purchase products only on the retailer's network. 2, offers the digital asset for sale in exchange for real currency. 3, retail continues to market its product to its existing customer base. 4, advertises its digital asset method payment as part of those efforts. 5, rewards customers based on real product purchases. Okay, so did the SEC just try to make a case that cryptocurrency tokens are effectively a kind of gift card? As someone who has researched the very DNA of the Flex and Network organization, as well as the AMP token, this idea amuses me to no end. If you're not following my thinking here, allow me to expand on it by considering the parallels to a gift card. Here we go. A gift card can be bought to buy items at the retail store. A gift card is bought with real currency. A gift card is marketed to an existing customer base, and often around the holiday season. This is really true. A gift card is set up as a payment method when making purchases. A gift card is often connected to a loyalty program, which, hey, do you use the Starbucks or Dunkin' Donut app? You can see where I'm getting at now. It's very interesting, right? So the SEC's perspective is that if you treat your cryptocurrency as a digital gift card, then it's not technically a investment contract or security. There's a funny part about gift cards though, and it stands in stark contrast to my third and final point in today's video. The third topic here is that, quote, the digital assets are not transferable. Consumers can only use them to purchase products from the retailer, or the customer may choose to sell them back to the retailer at a discount to the original purchase price, end quote. Okay, in my head, this is a mess. If you consider my digital gift card example earlier, the funny thing about these is that they are transferable. I simply have to share it with someone. Even a physical gift card is shareable. For example, you can go to the store, buy a gift card, and then, yes, that's right, just hand it to someone on the street at random as an act of kindness. The idea that cryptocurrency shouldn't be tradable is laughable in the modern world. Our entire world is moving into a place where anything and everything is tradable as a digital good. And it's why the emergence of NFT is so darn interesting. Further, the statement that the customer may sell back to the retailer, again, this sounds to me like a gift card, or perhaps a prepaid card. Speaking of gifts, if you enjoy unusual content, please tap that subscribe button or click the thumbs up button. Help feed the algorithm with a comment below that says, quote, best animated milkshake ever, end quote. I kid, but not really. Here's why. Now let's pull all this back together into the AMP case, but also the UnDD'er case. In the UnDD'er scenario, it's not something this channel has up for sale. That is, to date, I only did a test run of a sweepstakes and giving out a portion of those tokens to early supporters of the channel. That was an interesting learning experience. In the AMP token scenario, you can, as a consumer, go to most exchanges and buy or sell AMP tokens with the exchange. If you buy AMP tokens, you can also transfer those around. In the same kind of way, you can transfer UnDD'er tokens around. There's a feature of the platform and not something that the tokens themselves can really control. For example, in an era where anyone can stand up a decentralized exchange to facilitate trading of a token, well, just consider the case of Radium. I've not covered Radium on the channel, but it's an interesting technology. Here's the thing. Those decentralized exchanges can be spun up anywhere and everywhere within the world. So how does regulation affect those? Further, AMP tokens don't facilitate purchases at Flex Network as a retailer. Instead, AMP token facilitates purchases, well, that's right, at any retailer with any asset and on any app. The UnDD'er token doesn't facilitate any purchases, and I use that as a contrast mechanism. In terms of where you are, I can answer that question. This is Unusual Due Diligence. In today's episode, we looked at an analysis by the SEC on when a cryptocurrency project is not a security. Make waves and send me some ideas on what to do with the UnDD'er token, my friends.